Good morning, welcome, and if you're new, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Don't forget to, like, subscribe, and share if you think that this is going to help somebody. This is a general reading, so it may resonate with you, may not. I always encourage people to go back. And look at the older videos in case that one didn't resonate with you at the time that you saw it. It may now. So always go ahead, and not just with me. I mean with every other reader that you watch, I do have that 11/11 special going on. It's $11.11 off the 30, 45, and 60-minute reading. And the love letter, I've calculated all the prices there down below. I have gotten some emails asking if I do tower readings other than twin flames, and the answer is yes, I do. This is really just the only place I can do twin flame videos, because it's not open and out there just yet. Not a lot of people know. It's just really this community right here now. But I do, I can do jobs, I can do career, I can do life, I can do money. I am also a psychic medium. I have gotten some inquiries about that as well. I do that over the phone, but my information will be listed below. I do quite a few things. Before I get started, this was this was in a deck it was not supposed to be in. It's Share the Love, and when I flipped it right side out, they said don't forget to share love with the Karmics. Send love, peace, healing to them as well. So that message is out there. All right, let's see what is going to go on. Because I'm really getting the feeling that the Karmics are in just a tremendous amount of pain recently. Oh my God, see? Heartbreak. Three of Thoughts. Some of them, they may not show it, but some of them may really just feel really bad for how they have been treating not just the masculines, but people in life. Maybe some of them are starting to turn around and come around from, I think I've mentioned this before. When I pray, I always, I ask for their pain, their hurt, and their sadness to be transmuted for, how does it go? For transmutation, so that, they can heal from what they have going on. So a lot of them are going through stuff like that. But yeah, but they are up to their usual tricks, this is for a specific group. And then, this is for another specific group. There's a lot of trickery going on. Again, Seven of Thoughts, a lot of self-deceiving them. Okay, a lot of, deceiving themselves, tricking themselves into, what is it? How do I phrase this? Fooling themselves, tricking themselves into that they actually like being this person, when in all eventuality, they really don't, all right? This is the Queen of Thoughts, they are getting some wisdom, which is good, because there really is, there's no need for anybody to be like this towards anybody. Oh my God, divine healing, that's what I was just saying. You pray for their healing. It's like, I can feel, as well as I can feel like their maliciousness through the energy of the cards, I can also feel like their heartache, their sorrow, maybe when when they were first with the masculine, things were things were beautiful and things were nice, and, you know, and then things turned, you know, things went dark. Maybe they had always been like a wolf in sheep's clothing, but they were hoping maybe by marrying the masculine, who was so very kind and sweet and gentle and all it is good, not perfect, because nobody is, otherwise we would not be here on earth. But maybe some of them thought that they themselves would be able to change just by being around a person like that. But they were not, or they could not, you know, their true colors eventually came through. Actually, it was really kind of sad. I feel really sad. I really feel really sad for that. Oh, God, compassionate, you know, show some compassion towards them. Who knows why they act the way they do. I don't know. Looks like this is going to be be a little bit nicer to the karmic reading than sometimes that I am. Let me keep that over there. I mean, because there's, you know what, there's an infinite amount of love to go around. So, what else, Spirit? What else is going on? I hope everybody's doing well, keeping warm. And, you know, obviously I've been praying for, you know, another shooting that has happened, you know, like, I mean, share the love, you know, and even share the love for the person that actually did shoot them. You know, he is ex-military, and whenever I hear that someone that was in the service has gone and done a horrific thing, they must be suffering from PTSD, some form of it, you know. And, you know, of course, I'm not trying to diminish the act, okay? The act that person did was obviously heinous, but there's much pain behind that, the person who did that act, because that I can feel, and the parents, you know, his family, you know, you just don't think something like that would happen in your family, but it happens. So if you can manage to have a bit of compassion for them. And of course, I'm always thinking about, you know, the victims and their families. Oh gosh, and those terrible fires in California. You know, this is one of the main reasons why we have come here, because the world is just in such a horrible, horrible state. We are here to share love, because things are bad. Things are bad. There's a lot of purging going on. A lot of purging. Maybe some with the karmics. And I know I've been purging. I would think, you know, that I am done. But, you know, things come up and trigger. And then you got to go back and look at it and deal with that. And so, you know, there's just a lot, you know, between November and December. It's a very powerful month, or powerful months, to prepare us all for 2019. 2019 is going to be a crazy year. A lot of unions. The rest of this year is just like the starting of twins coming into union, but next year there's going to be pretty much an explosion. So we need to clear up as much as we possibly can. So for the masculines and the feminines, you know, and the karmics. Too many. Thank you, though. Too many. What else is going on, Spirit? It's a lot, but it's guided to take them. Settling. Everybody is done settling. You know, the masculine, the feminines, and the karmics, you know, for this certain group that I'm reaching. Like I said, they're some of them are getting healing, you know, so that they can turn their lives around. And it's not that they're going to turn their lives around and then the mask's going to be like, oh my God, she's changed. And no, that's not how that works. When you're the feminine and you mean, how do I, like, it's the feminine and the masculine. The karmic can change, and then she'll find her own path to go on, or he will find his own path to go on. It's not like they're going to change, and then the masculine's going to be like, I've changed. Oh, look, this is my feminine. No, that it doesn't work like that. Oh, here he is. There he is. The masculine showing up. Some of them still have their masks on, and it's out of fear. Out of fear of having to speak up for themselves, speak their truth. Maybe some of them are afraid their friends may make fun of them for, you know, being spiritual where they weren't spiritual before, you know. They want to definitely be received by the feminines into their hearts. Yeah, they want balance. They want harmony with the karmic, especially if there's children involved. They want what is fair. They want what is right. They want what is just. You know, and the karmics were their soulmate, and they were their soulmate for a reason, for these lessons to be learned, for all these things to come up, for healing from past lifetimes, carried over also from ancestors. So there's a big difference between soulmate and karmics. Soulmate and twin flames. So they were there for a reason, not only for the masculine, but a reason for themselves, you know, and hopefully to change their ways. I mean, wouldn't it be nice especially if there's young children involved, you know, when there's visitation, if there wasn't such animosity, because that energy is felt. The children pick up on the energy. See, spring. I was talking next year that there's going to be, you know, like a lot of them, a lot of unions coming into union. So definitely spring, you know. Here it is, where I am in the States, it is considered winter. I live down south. I live in Texas, although I am originally from New York. But it does get cold here. I mean, there is a winter. And winter is the time for, like, dormant, for, you know, to stay in, to do a lot of thinking, do a lot of contemplating, you know. And then when things thaw is when, you know, love and light and all this comes to light, comes to be, comes to fruition. What else do we have? Okay. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. So there's going to be some in spring. There's going to be some in fall. There's going to be some in summer. I mean, just like what I said, next year it's just going to be a whole, there's going to be a lot of action taken next year. Feminines and masculines are finding their soul family. It's a lot of dark night of the soul going on, a lot of purging. Yeah, and a lot of grief. A lot of grief across the board, you know, for all three, for masculines, feminines, and the karmics. Hold on, I need a sip of water. Or maybe there maybe something has gone on that we don't know about, or maybe in your life, like an actual death of an actual person. Maybe some of you are going through the stages of grief, and if you are, my condolences, and I will pray for you and your family. And I'm very sorry. There could be a lot of that going on, because I got that. Maybe something has happened in the karmic's life that has made her or him really start to think really, really, really deep, as to, you know, like what has gone on in my life, you know, like where am I, you know, at this age, and why. Just pondering why. Oh, contemplation. That's just what I was saying. A lot of them are in a lot of contemplation about, maybe they're taking a step back and being like, why have I been so mean and miserable? Like, what's within me that I need to fix so that I don't feel miserable anymore? Because I can tell you, you know, when you're at that point of being completely fucking miserable, sorry, it's oh man, it's a terrible place to be. I hate it. And it projects onto other people. It's like a disease. It just spreads to other people. But the remedy for that is love, and this spreads too. This spreads like, this is the anti-venom. This is the anti-venom to just the negativity in the world, is love. And there will be a conclusion. There will be a hard and fast conclusion between the masculines and the karmics, because both are done settling. Understanding. Some of them are going, you know, masculines, feminines, and karmics, going into therapy, and trying to figure out, you know, why they can't let go, what's causing them to have so much grief, you know, so much heartbreak. So much fear. Like, what is so deep rooted that in them that has just kind of taken over them? Signs. Maybe the karmics are getting signs from the universe being like, hey, look, wake up, it's time to change. And some will, and some won't. That's just that's just the way it's going to be. And, you know, and we should really wish the karmics healing, because that'll just make things so much better on all fronts. Who wants the dread of having to, you know, what if you kind of live in like the same town and you're with your masculine, or even if you're not with your masculine, but you know, you happen to live in the same town, and the feminine runs into the karmic, you know, it's that feeling of like, oh, like, great, you know, like, there they are, I don't want to see them, I don't want to be here. It would be, and I'm not saying that you're going to go up and be like, oh, hi, give each other a kiss and a hug and, you know, be the best of friends. No, it won't probably. For maybe in some cases, it'll be like that, and if that's the way it turns out, that's fantastic. But just to have no animosity, if you could just be and pass each other by and come across each other and just give a wave or a feeling of acknowledgement, but not nastiness, would be beautiful. Yes, they're saying yes. There is a conclusion coming. In the spring, in the fall, and in the summer. Ooh. Okay. That card was like flip-flopping around, and that's exactly what it is. I was saying, I was like, oh, that's a lot of flip-flopping of that card, and it's a lot of the masculines. Some days they're in fear, some days they're not in fear. You know, it fluctuates. So if you feel you're masculine for a very, very long time, and then all of a sudden you don't feel them anymore, it's probably because they've where is it? Because they've settled back down into the fear of leaving, into the fear of the unknown, and the fear of the unknown is so paralyzing. What else? Anything else? A lot of the masculines are burying themselves in their work so that they don't have to feel the fear. They don't have to deal with the fact that, you know, God, my life is sad. It's in a shambles. They don't have to think about what it would be like if they were rejected. I am looking for a specific card. It'll come to me later. A lot of them are still within the free will. They have not been awakened yet. They're still in the free will, because the free will is fear. It's settling. Those are all 3D. And that's why, as feminines, we need to keep our vibration high, you know, as high as we can for as long as we can. You know, there are days where you're not going to vibrate high because we are here on Earth. But when you do that, it does go out to the masculine, and it does help them. See? Stuck. Both the masculine and the karmics, they both feel stuck. Some of you, the masculine and the karmics, may be observing you on some sort of social media form, or, you know, maybe in person, maybe doing like a drive-by. Forgiveness. The masculines, so, God, they so want to be forgived for the things that they have said and the things they have done, even by the karmic. What else, Spirit? Feminines, we too need to forgive ourselves for things that we have done, things that we've said. Maybe we need to forgive ourselves for, you know, wishing harm to the karmics. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I know some people wish harm for the karmics, you know. Maybe you've come to the point of where you can forgive yourself for that. Forgive yourself for, you know, bad things that you have said about them or to them. I really had no clue it was going to turn into, like, I love the karmic day and today. But, you know, they need help too. And I can't stress this enough, especially if they're, I mean, if there are children in general, whether they're adults, but it's really the young children that, you know, that are really just grabbing my heart right now. But it is hard. It is hard when the children are older. We got a lot. Ooh, wow, we got a lot. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Nurturing. The masculines just so want to be nurtured by the feminine. You know, they want to be taken care of. Physically, spiritually, emotionally. They want to be, I just had that word. They want to be vulnerable. They want to be able to be safe enough to show that vulnerability to you. Sorry, I just got to take off my sweater. And this was on the bottom. Some of them are recognizing ascension. Some of them are recognizing twin flames. Realizing that they are the divine masculine. Oh. And by that, share the love card that fell off, they said to me, that was kind of like a symbolism that that there's no love for the karmic between the masculine anymore. That love has fallen off a cliff. It's dead. It's over. A lot of you are having dreams in the astral plane, the fifth dimension. That's where you're connecting with your counterpart. Pride and ego got to go. That's 3D. That's 3D. That's the matrix. That's the 3D part of this, and that needs to go. This isn't it. And the masculines need to stop, and the feminines need to stop feeling like a victim. Get out of that victim mentality. Whether you're thinking, oh, you know, this will never happen, and you know, it's just taking so long. Don't think like that, because you're resonating at a lower vibration, and that's not going to help you. That doesn't help the universe. That doesn't help the masculine. You're not doing what it is that you signed up to do. You know, we all signed up to come down here at this specific time to do this specific mission, to help raise the vibration of Earth, to bring about as much peace as possible. And this is what I was laughing at. Winter. So for some, it could take, a whole nother year before you probably hear from your masculines or your feminines. There's a lot of shadow work. Shadow work is pride, ego. Not worrying about money. Getting out of fear. Where is that card? Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, you know, that victim mentality. You know, there's a lot that encompasses shadow work. There's so many things. All right, I said I saw nurturing. I saw nurturing, but it actually says numbing. Which is another here we go. That's what I word. Another piece of shadow work that needs to be worked on. Some of them have addictions. Maybe the karmics have addictions, you know. They're numbing themselves from the grief, you know, from not being received, you know, for settling, you know, day by day, just, you know, same old shit, same shit, different day. You know, you get up, you go to work, you know, maybe you half-ass your job at work, or maybe you give your work, you know, 510% because you've got nothing to go home to. You know, it feels like a war zone. I mean, when you walk in, you can feel the tension. It's terrible. I've lived that life. It's terrible. They will, oh my God. The return of the twin flame. So yes, all of this has to go on. All of this has to go on. And then the conclusion, and then the return of your twin. Wow. That was perfect. That was beautiful. A lot of the masculine's guides are reaching out to them. You know, they may not know exactly what it is that the masculines may not know exactly what it is that's going on, but you know, I kind of get like not that they're physically tapping them on the head or the shoulder. It's more like an energy of going, this is killing me, of going, hey, time to wake up. Let's go. Let's get a move on. Like you've been in this. So many cards. I can't find the one I'm looking for, but so many get out of the free will. And I think I've said this before in other readings, you know, they're really pushing them like, hello, what's going on? You know, wake up. And here, you know, compassion, it's the Queen of Mirrors. Again, like I said in the last video, there's a lot of mirroring going on. So when you show compassion, you get, you know, I mean, and this doesn't have anything to do with twin flames whatsoever. If you have compassion for people, you get compassion back. And who knows, if you walk by somebody today and all you do is just give a smile, you may be the only good thing that happened to that person that day. And let me tell you, I have been that person where everything was miserable and somebody had just passed by and just smiled at me, and then I've gone in my car and broke down because that was the nicest thing that had happened to me all day. Some stranger showing me a bit of compassion, a bit of humanity. Commitment. Yep. Definitely, like I said, reunions are going to be going on. We got, you know, conclusion's ending, commitment's coming. And return. Funny, I had other decks here, and I may not use them. Just maybe this deck. Oh no, I will use another deck. Not this card. Abandonment issues are huge for the Twin Flame Collective. I did a past reading on myself and my masculine. And I do have the past life cards, and I did one on myself, and orphan came up. And then I had done one on my masculine, and orphan showed up in his. So we were both orphans at the same time in the same orphanage. But we both have abandonment issues. I know I do. I know he does. And this is another reason why maybe some masculines are not getting out of their karmic relationships right now. They don't want to make their child feel like they've been abandoned, like they have been abandoned. And hold on to your horses. Union. Oh my goodness. This is just beautiful. I mean, I felt really sad and down at the beginning of this because I felt the karmic's emotions, and for once it wasn't anger. And now towards the end it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yep, those cards are played out. All right, I'm going to try this deck. I wish all the decks were this size. A lot of us feminines, karmics, masculines are at an impasse. No movement. But when two messages, but when things do start to move, abundance. Abundance comes in, and they're also telling me, look around you now. There's so much abundance around you, and it doesn't have to, it's not always this. Abundance is peace of mind. Abundance is just, how do I put it? It's peace of mind is just the one thing that comes in, and that encompasses a lot. But you know what? You can have an abundance of joy, abundance of laughter, an abundant amount of smile. You have an abundant amount of love that we can pass on. Yeah, you see how they're kind of hoarding it? They're burying it. They don't want to share. No. Spirit's saying, give all that you can. Give all the smiles that you can. Give all the love that you can. All the joy that you can. All the laughter that you can. Give it. Find laughter in the silliest things. What else? Yeah, these cards are so easy for me to shuffle. Acceptance. Acceptance of yourself. Acceptance of what you look like. Acceptance of the situation you are currently in. I'm not saying you have to stay there, but you need to accept to be like, all right, this is where I am right now in my life, in my journey. And I accept that. You have to accept if there's children involved that, you know what, you're going to see that karmic. So you better start accepting that fact now and don't dwell on it, because it's going to be a fact. There will be no impasse. You will not be able to get around it. So that doesn't necessarily mean that the karmic will accept you, and there's nothing you can do about that. The only thing you can control is you. All right. So I haven't brought these out in a long time, and when I pray and meditate over my cards before I do a reading, I do ask for the Ascended Masters to be here, along with the Archangels. And they were like, include us. I was like, okay. So let's see what they have to say. Purification. White Tara. Take a purifying salt bath, with Epsom salt. Detoxify your mind, detoxify your body. Start eating healthier, incorporate a little bit more greens where normally you wouldn't have. Especially now that it's becoming winter time, it's really easier to eat heavy foods, heavy, beautiful, creamy, heavy pasta dishes. It's kind of like, it goes back to like caveman days, you ate to keep yourself warm. And we really don't have to do that now, but we still do it anyway. And in the summertime, it always seems easier to eat lighter, but just modify it a little bit, You don't have to be like, you don't have to just eat fruits and vegetables, all during the winter time, just eat a little bit less of the heavier foods. And I'm talking to myself too. Choose peace. Choose peace within. If you choose peace within, peace comes out. Take charge of your situation, whatever that may mean to you. Maybe there's things you need to clean up, sweep up, and, get rid of. Take charge of your situation. Don't be a what do they say? Don't be a passerby in your own life. Some of you may have some sort of artistic ability, and that you've kind of put on the back burner, now that it is winter time, again, depending on where you are. And if you're going to be inside, then you might as well start. Maybe it's knitting, crocheting, painting, music. Woodworking. It could be anything, Poetry, writing a book. Start working on that. Some of you are a teacher, and of course, like a teacher in the secular world, but some of you may not realize it, but you may be a spiritual teacher, like a spiritual leader. Maybe you haven't come to that realization yet, that you have what it takes. All right, and then Archangel Michael, one of my go-tos. Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel. What do you have, Michael? Telling you, he never lets you down. He's never let me down. And I was going through divorce, and I had to go to court, and I was terrified to speak. I prayed to Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Michael to give me the strength to go in there, strength to actually have to speak up. And when it came my turn to speak, boy, did I speak, and I spoke clearly and loudly. I'll spare you the details, but it was quite funny. Yeah. Okay. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. and you'll know where this fits into your situation. I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. You know where that fits in your life. The prayer, I don't dare interrupt interpret a prayer that I have from Archangel Michael in these cards. It's not my it's not my place. That's just my opinion. Have confidence, just like what I was saying when I had to go to court. And when I did, I took out these cards and this card came up. And I took this card with me in my pocketbook to court. Archangel Michael, please lend me your courage and fortitude. Help me realize that I am one with all that is divine wisdom. Help me, yes, he wants me to say again. Help me realize that I am one with all that is divine wisdom, strength, love, creativity, abundance, health. Allow me to feel confident and peaceful about myself in all ways. Your children are watched over by angels. Dear guardian angels of my children, born and unborn, thank you for watching over my children and ensuring their happiness and safety. Please guide me so that I know the best ways to be a good parent and a role model for my own and other people's children. Wow. I'm telling you, when he speaks, he's got good stuff to say. Okay. Thank you very much for tuning in. This is turned into a long read, but I liked it. I really did like how it went from feeling all yucky and sad to feeling much, much lighter. Much lighter. And I'm really glad that this turned into this kind of, I have compassionate for the karmics, because a lot of times, myself included, and other readers, just not nice, like we always see, at least I do, I see the meanness in the karmics, and I see that the harm that they're doing, but very, very rarely are you going to see a reader that come out and say, you know what, have compassion for them. They may not show it back to you, but that doesn't matter. What matters is what you do in your life. What matters to you is how you feel and how you treat people. And accept everybody no matter what. All right. Thank you very, very much. You have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Just a reminder, I have that special going on. I do readings other than, twin flames, and I am a psychic medium. That's something that I can do over the phone with you if that is something you're interested in. And it is going to be Veterans Day on Sunday, tomorrow. And I am very grateful to all of the veterans that are out there because, specifically, I have the freedom to do this. If this was back in olden times, I would have been hanged and tried as a witch, but not now. Now I have, now there's the freedom to do this, and unfortunately, freedom is not free. And I not only say this on behalf, of the hundreds and thousands of military, not in just the United States, but others that are peacekeepers. And I also say that on behalf of my son, who is in the military and joined at a very young age, knew exactly what he wanted to do. kind of broke my heart a little bit to join at such a young age, but that's what he wanted to do, so I supported him. And I support military. I am eternally grateful for everything that they have done and do now and will do in the future. Okay, thank you very much. Namaste.